Meanwhile, President Joe Biden gave a rare Oval address calling for calm from the Oval Office, addressing the need to lower the temperature. Biden condemned all political violence and called for unity. He cited a number of violent political attacks in recent years and said America cannot allow this violence to be normalized.
You know, the political record in this country has gotten very heated. It's time to cool it down. We all have a responsibility to do that. Yes, we have deeply felt strong disagreements. The stakes in this election are enormously high. Let's remember, here in America, while unity is the most elusive of goals right now, nothing is more important for us now than standing together. We can do this.
And while we were talking about that push to close the gap between the aisle, we do want to bring in an expert on this conversation.
Yeah, joining us this morning is political science professor from Oakland University, David DeLeo. Thank you for joining us, first of all, this morning. We appreciate it. When we talk about the fallout from this, in your opinion, do you really see any changes that will come to pass in the wake of this?
Well, good morning. Thanks for having me. That's the million-dollar question at the moment. I think that this is the assassination attempt on President Trump, former President Trump, is the latest in a chaotic election cycle, one that's historic in many ways, and you have to wonder if this is sort of the last straw, right? That the reporting that you've had here in the last few minutes has cited the rhetoric that is really gotten out of control and has been ratcheted up for years and years and years. And the president last night, President Biden, is right. It's time to take it down a notch.
You know, on that note, we've heard the president, other elected officials talking about the rhetoric, saying that violence has no place in politics. Unfortunately, though, when you look at history, I mean, you had President Reagan shot in the 80s. You look at the 1960s and the 1970s. Unfortunately, this is not new. This is maybe new for this generation. What are your thoughts on kind of in the world of social media? You're seeing a lot being played out on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram. This is a platform we didn't have in previous years, previous election cycles. How do you think it impacts kind of where we go from here?
Well, I think that's such a great point. Social media has an enormous, it's probably hard to overstate how big of an impact it has in this context. And I say that because, as we all know, right, we see people online all the time say things or type things behind the anonymity of a keyboard that they would never say to somebody's face, right? And we're seeing that even in the aftermath of this assassination attempt, where dozens of people, maybe even hundreds or thousands even, are disappointed that the shooter missed and are saying so, right? I mean, that's just hard to believe. And it goes into other instances as well, where after something happens to somebody on the left, folks on the right come out and say nasty things. And I think that social media, people need to realize that that's not the real world.
Yeah, and I think you make a great point about just how it's such the bottom of the barrel when it comes to social media. And I think the next spot we'll be seeing what happens on cable news programs, the opinion shows, if they actually change the rhetoric there. So we'll have to see. But David, I'm curious, do you think this makes a difference when it comes to the voting? How will this play out at the polls, do you think?
Yeah, I think it does, and it's still not long after this incident, and it's always tough to figure out when do we start talking about the political implications, but I think it does a number of things. Number one, I think it galvanizes the Republican Party. There have been different factions, including some never-Trumpers, and maybe they don't come back and support Trump, but I think that many who were doubting maybe whether they were going to vote for Trump will do so now. I think you'll see some sympathy votes. I think you'll see him get a lot of empathy from around the country, and I think that it shines a light on the differences between Trump and Biden. The images of Trump standing up strong and resolute after the attempt versus, frankly, the frailty that President Biden has shown, first in the debate from a couple of weeks ago and even in some appearances after that. I think that this has a huge effect.
You know, on that note, we're already hearing reports that President Trump has changed his speech for the Republican National Convention. Do you think there will be a change in tone or in rhetoric between these two candidates, especially? I mean, we've still got a ways to go before November.
Well, you know, I think that is going to be maybe what's different this time. I mean, fingers crossed, right? But we're in a point now where actions speak louder than words. Everybody on both sides of the aisle has advocated for, you know, taking down the tone and ratcheting things down. But the proof is going to be in the pudding here. And if folks just talk a good game, if they talk the talk but don't walk the walk, then it just rings hollow. So I think if President Trump does strike a different tone on Thursday night when he speaks, maybe that's the first step in the right direction.
Yeah, that might be the step that some of other colleagues in Congress need to change their rhetoric. David, really appreciate your insight this morning. Thanks so much for coming on.
Sure. Thanks for having me.
All right. Well, as an